well, now I'm not going to get back together with you. I was going to try before, and now I'm not going to.
Ah. If women want to be on the adventure with you and are so attracted to your vision and your focus and the things that light you up in the world when you're in that energy, I feel like she's feeling that in you, um, and is wanting wanting to touch in on that in addition to being afraid of like losing all the energy you were giving her. And my gut tells me that if you were just to kind of abruptly turn Rob back and say, okay, I am here for you, that that feeling she's having, that experience of like excitement and oh, like I want to connect back in, it would like wash out of her like water, and she'd like kind of run in the other direction. um, so that's the feeling I'm getting. And I've even like, even as like I consider myself a pretty conscious person, but even in the past as a teenager and a 20-year-old, I would have that experience with men. Like they would suddenly be like, all right, fine, I'm going to do my own thing, and I would feel the attraction toward them. And then if they turned back and faced me as like, oh, okay, now I'm full in, it was like a, oh, never mind, this was too close and too like intertwined, and I would lose the attraction. So.
So if I play the other side of the coin, right, and our theme of this week is red pill, and I say, see, Rob is doing these behavioral things to create space, and she wants him now, and that's what he's done. He's behaviorally like set the frame. He's led. He's not given her as much attention, right? So if I just look behaviorally at that and I treat it like instinctually, well, why not just go about it like that? Why not kind of manipulate the situation and try to play things like that in just a completely instinctual way? If that's how women are going to act, what would you say to that?
Oh, it makes me actually like want to cry, because that like the instinctual stuff is so important, and it's so important to be aware of. And I also hold so important like that spiritual confidence in our life too, that we, you know, the power that you have in your hands, and it's how we choose to use that in the people in our lives for our best good and for their best good. I think it's to be a responsible person to know that instincts are a big force, and to use that with care and leadership and with the best of intent.
Hmm. So to not manipulate and to try to coerce in a way using that knowledge. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Rob, let me ask you. So the next step there, guys, and we're going to develop this over the week is, well, what is your goal and values in relationship in the first place? Are you trying to get someone through manipulation, through them to what, fall for you because you do the certain dance, or you're behaviorally holding something over them? Is that how you want to build a relationship? Or you want to build a relationship in a more open-hearted, connected, conscious way of growing together? What are your values for yourself? If you just kind of want to play each other, that's what the pickup artist industry is about. Is honestly, people have wounds, and you use manipulation, if you will, or you use behavioral dynamics to play on those fears or those weaknesses. But then what? It's kind of like, well, what happens the next day, and what happens if you try to have a relationship started with those tenets? It's not going to go the way that the men here want, I would say.